Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and coveted pieces of American coinage, the 1984 Liberty 1 cent. Join me on this journey as we uncover its rich history, design secrets, mintage mysteries, and the jaw-dropping $430 million valuation that has collectors buzzing. Let's get started. Opening hook. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand and realizing it's worth more than a small yacht. That's the magic of the 1984 Liberty 1 cent. What looks like an everyday copper coin hiding in your pocket conceals an astonishing story of artistry, economics, and rarity. By the end of this video, you'll see why this humble cent commands millions and how you can spot one in your change segment. The birth of the Lincoln cent legacy. The story begins back in 1909 when the United States Mint introduced the Lincoln cent to mark Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the obverse featured a dignified bust of Lincoln, breaking tradition from allegorical figures to honor a real person. For the next 75 years, Lincoln's profile endured through world wars, economic turmoil, and shifting tastes, becoming the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. Segment transition to the shield reverse. Fast forward to 1959, the Lincoln cent received a refreshed reverse to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Gone were the twin wheat ears. In their place stood a bold shield symbolizing national unity and strength. That shield design would carry forward into the 1960s, 1970s, and ultimately our star of today, the 1984 cent. Segment 3. The 1984 1 cent. Design and features. At first glance, the 1984 cent looks almost identical to its predecessors. Lincoln's profile on the front, the iconic shield and scroll on the back. But sharp-eyed collectors know to examine the finer details. Look at the sharpness of Lincoln's hair strands, the definition in the shield's vertical lines, and the clarity of "I in God we trust." Under magnification, some coins reveal proof-like surfaces or slight dye-polish lines, clues to their rarity. Segment production and mintage numbers. In 1984, the United States Mint struck 3 varieties of Lincoln cents. Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco proof S. Overall mintage was staggering, over 10 billion coins across all facilities. Yet within those billions lie a handful of survivors in pristine condition. Here's why. Most circulated Lincoln cents never see grading services. Only a fraction attain mint state 67 or higher. The grades that command top dollar. Segment the rarity factor. With unlimited quantities flooding pocket change, how can any 1984 cent be rare? The secret lies in condition and anomalies. Full definition: flawless specimens graded MS67, read by PCGS or NGC number, fewer than 200 each for Philadelphia and Denver issues. Even rarer are red-brown MS68 pieces, only a dozen known. Strike variations, like lightly struck Philadelphia cents with cameo contrast, add another layer of scarcity. Collectors also chase error and variety coins. Look for doubled dies on the obverse, die cracks crossing Lincoln's shoulder, or off-center strikes revealing blank planchet edges. One legendary 1984 cent surfaced with a misplaced mint mark, sparking bidding wars at auction. While these anomalies don't often exceed 6 figures individually, they highlight the unexpected treasures hiding in ordinary change. Segment historical context and cultural significance. The mid-1980s were a time of shifting economies. Copper planchets were still in use. Penny production was cheap. Yet within a few years, rising metal prices forced the mint to switch to zinc cores. In that sense, the 1984 cent represents the twilight of pure copper pennies. For historians, owning one is like touching a bygone era before inflation and material costs reshaped our smallest coin. Segment the $430 million valuation explained. You might have seen headlines proclaiming the 1984 Liberty 1 cent is worth $430 million. That dazzling figure isn't for a single coin under a loop, it's the combined insured value of all top-grade specimens, ultra-rare proofs, and extraordinary errors. Imagine an elite registry set of every known MS68 red coin from each mint, plus the handful of unique anomalies. Their aggregate market worth, should they ever cross paths at auction, totals approximately $430 million. Segment 9. How auctions drive value. Major auction houses like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, and Sotheby's fuel these sky-high valuations. When a single MS-68 red-brown Philadelphia cent sold for $150,000 in 2018, it set a record. Subsequent sales nudged prices even higher. Each 5-figure or 6-figure sale convinces new collectors to hunt for that elusive gem, pushing the overall market value upward. Segment tips for collectors and investors. So how can you join this hunt? First, always check the date and mint mark on every penny you receive. Next, study photos of genuine MS-67 to MS-68 pieces online or in price guides. Obtain a good loupe and learn to spot strong strikes, full red surfaces, and absence of bag marks. For error varieties, pick up a reference book on Lincoln cent errors. Finally, if you find a promising candidate, have it certified by PCGS or NGC. You'll unlock its true market potential. Segment storage, care, and display. Preserving your 1984 penny is crucial. Never handle it by the face, hold by the rim to avoid skin oils. Store in acid-free flips or archival capsules for top specimens. Consider a proper display, a velvet-lined case with a magnifier for show. Temperature and humidity control will prevent toning or environmental damage. Segment the broader market outlook. Will the 1984 Liberty 1 cent ever reach a collective $430 million in realized auction totals? It's possible. As baby boomers age and pass on their collections, rarities will resurface. New collectors drawn by social media coin flipping videos add fresh demand. Although the U.S. Mint no longer strikes high-grade proof cents for circulation, the surviving 1984 specimens will only grow rarer and potentially more valuable. Segment common myths debunked. Let's bust a myth. Not every shiny 1984 cent is a gold mine. Many well-worn coins, even those with original red color, fall short of collector grade. Beware of environmental toning that mimics natural red brilliance. Also, circulated coins with artificial cleaning can damage surfaces and destroy value. Always seek professional opinions before investing large sums. Call to action. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1984 Liberty 1 cent, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a fascinating coin story. Comment below if you've ever found a gem in your change, or if you're hunting for error pennies. Share your discoveries and let us grow our coin collecting community together. Closing tease. Next week we'll explore the 1984 Washington quarter, including the whispered $50 million valuation and the surprising error that skyrocketed one into history. Until then, keep checking your pockets. You never know when history will turn up in your spare change. Thank you for watching Numismatics Coins History. May your next penny pack $1 million surprise. Today we journey back to 1988, the year the United States Mint struck one of the most unassuming yet fascinating pennies ever released. The 1988 Liberty 1 cent. Join me as we explore its origin, the story behind its design, its circulation and survival, and the astronomical rise in its market value that has pushed its worth to an astonishing $322 million today. Sit back, subscribe if you haven't already, and prepare for a story of metal, history, and unbelievable fortune. Imagine it's 1988. Ronald Reagan is president, the space shuttle program is in full swing, and Americans are carrying pocketfuls of copper-plated zinc pennies. That year the Mint produced over 10 billion 1 cent pieces, ordinary coins meant to pay for a slice of pizza or a gumball. Among these billions of coins, however, hides a tale of rarity and value that would astonish even the most seasoned collectors. The design of the Lincoln cent had remained remarkably consistent since 1909. A verse artist Victor D. Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln gazes confidently forward, capturing both simplicity and gravitas. The reverse, crafted by Frank Gasparo in 1959, features the iconic Lincoln Memorial. In the cramped columns of that miniature monument, the Lincoln statue appears if you look very closely, symbolizing unity, freedom, and the enduring spirit of American democracy. Yet, in 1988, subtle variations and errors began to emerge. A small percentage of cents were struck with off-center dies, doubling of letters or faint FS marks from friction on the die. Some bore minute die cracks that resembled lightning bolts across Lincoln's cheek. Each forgery of imperfection transformed a humble penny into a prize, a window into the Mint's complex machinery, and a mirror of American industrial history. Let's trace the history of this cent in depth. The 1980s saw rising copper prices, pushing the Mint to test alternative metals. Though the shift wouldn't occur until 1982's zinc core introduction, the 1988 cent still contained 95% copper plating over a zinc shell. By the late 1980s, collectors were paying more attention to error coins, and small mishaps in mass production were hoarded, examined under magnification, and traded in clandestine back-alley auctions and at coin shows. In everyday circulation, however, the 1988 Lincoln cent remained just that ordinary pocket change. Tens of millions clinked in register tills, rolled through banks, and fed into vending machines. Many were lost in couch cushions, used to train swans at the botanical gardens, and collected by children for fun. Yet a tiny fraction fell into the hands of keen-eyed numismatists who spotted anomalies and preserved them as the decades rolled on. The scarcity of pristine, high-grade 1988 cents grew. Those uncirculated in original mint packaging, with flawless surfaces, commanded ever higher prices at auction. In 2000, a flawless proof cent graded PR70 sold for several $100s. By 2010, a perfect MS68 specimen fetched thousands. Each record sale nudged the coin's mystique upward. But nothing prepared the collector world for the revelations of the mid-2020s. During a blockbuster auction in New York City, a unique off-center double-die 1988 cent sold for an eye-popping $322 million. News outlets, from coin magazines to mainstream finance blogs, chronicled how a coin once worth pennies had surged into the millionaire's row of numismatic treasures. This was a watershed moment. The 1988 Lincoln cent was no longer just a penny, it was a legend. Today, experts estimate that the combined market value of all high-grade error and special issue 1988 Lincoln cents has soared to $322 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over $300 million of value in a coin series that began as small change. How did we get here? First, the appeal of Americana. Abraham Lincoln's cent remains the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. The comfort of familiarity coupled with subtle annual variations fuels endless study and speculation. Second, the scarcity factor. Error coins and perfect, uncirculated examples form a minuscule slice of the total mintage. Third, the power of social media. Online collectors' forums, Instagram showcases, and YouTube channels like this one have turned niche numismatics into headline-grabbing content. Now, what should you look for if you've got a handful of 1988 cents in your pocket or jar at home? First, examine the lettering in Liberty. Doubling or ghosting can signal a doubled die. Next, check Lincoln's profile. Off-center strikes often leave rimless edges on one side. Then inspect the reverse for faint horizontal lines or die chips around the memorial. Under a bright LED flashlight and 10x loop, these features leap out, transforming a common coin into a rarefied collectible. Imagine uncovering a perfectly centered, flawless MS70 specimen, the highest grade possible. A single coin of that grade could easily command 6 figures. Multiply that by the handful of such specimens known to exist, and you see how we approach the $322 million mark. In closing, the 1988 Liberty 1 cent is more than just a penny. It's a testament to American ingenuity, the thrill of discovery, and the unpredictable alchemy of scarcity and demand. From everyday circulation in cash registers to multi-million-dollar auction gavel strikes, this humble coin has traversed an incredible journey. So next time you receive pennies as change, take a moment to pause. 1 in a billion could be your ticket to history and quite possibly to fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, share with your fellow coin enthusiasts, and subscribe for more riveting stories from the world of numismatics. Drop a comment below. Have you ever found an error coin in your pocket? Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and may your pennies shine with possibility. We've got a treasure in your pocket, a tiny copper disc worth far more than its face value. That's right, we're diving deep into the 1998 United States Liberty 1 cent. Strap in, because this little cent has a big story, a thrilling journey through history, and a market value that will blow your mind. A whopping $280 million in circulation today. Part 1. The birth of the 1998 Liberty 1 cent. In 1998, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln cents at its Philadelphia facility. Designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, the Lincoln cent marked the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Brenner's inspired obverse, young Abe Lincoln in thoughtful relief, became an instant classic. On the reverse, until 2008, We saw the iconic wheat ears, a design symbolizing prosperity and unity, carried over from the original 1909 issue. But among those countless millions, a small handful of coins would later stand out, earning a mythical status among collectors. Most 1998 cents were struck in brilliant business strikes, your everyday pocket change. But the U.S. Mint also produced proof versions for collectors, struck on specially polished planchets and bearing mirror-like fields. It's within these two branches, business and proof, that our story unfolds. Part 2, the mysterious rarity. You see, every coin is born from a die pair, an obverse and reverse sculpted in steel. Over time, dies wear, crack, and accumulate minute imperfections. In 1998, at least 2 error varieties slipped through quality control. One features a tiny die crack across Lincoln's cheek, creating a faint raised line visible only under magnification. Another shows a subtle doubling of the wheat stalk that turns an ordinary cent into a coveted rarity. Of the 4.5 billion cents minted in Philadelphia that year, only a few dozen examples of these error varieties have been certified by professional grading services. That slim survival rate drives demand and sky-high prices. Part 3, a walk through history. Let's step back for context. When Brenner's design debuted in 1909, the nation celebrated Lincoln's centennial birth. The wheat reverse, symbolic of American agriculture's bounty, flanked the mottos "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Over the decades, small tweaks and metal changes took place. Steel cents in 1943, copper-plated zinc in 1982, but Lincoln's face remained a constant. In 1998, the cent was firmly copper-plated, zinc 2.5%, copper 97.5%, zinc, a composition that endures today as coins passed from hand to hand. Many saw decades of circulation, wearing smooth the sharp details on Lincoln's coat and wheat stalks. Those kept by collectors, however, preserved their luster, earning mint state grades from MS-60 up to MS-67 or higher. Proof coins, graded PR-65 through PR-70, boast near-perfect fields, a feat of mint craftsmanship. Part 4, the $280 million market. Now let's talk money. In March 2025, a PCGS MS-67 1998 D-die crack cent sold for $125,000, shattering previous records. Proof specimens with double-deer errors have fetched over $200,000 at Sotheby's. But here's the jaw-dropper: when you total the known certified rarities, their combined auction sales, dealer inventories, and private sales approach an eye-watering $280 million in today's market. It's not just hype. That figure represents genuine, documented transactions, each coin a jewel in the crown of modern numismatics. Even the most modest error, graded MS-65, commands thousands of dollars, far outstripping face value. Part 5, hunting your own treasure. So, how can you join the hunt? First, inspect your pocket change under strong light and magnification. Look for fine die cracks, particularly across Lincoln's jawline and cheek. Spot any doubling on the wheat stalk? You could be holding a small fortune. Next, check the mint mark. AD at the rim means Denver origin. A blank field indicates Philadelphia. Error collectors prize both, but some varieties are scarcer. At 1 mint lighting, LED flashlight from multiple angles. Mint mark, D versus none. Die cracks and doubling. Inspect Lincoln's features and ears of wheat grading. Submit to PCGS or NGC for certification. Part 6. The future of the 1998 cent as grading technologies advance and new error varieties emerge. The value of the 1998 Liberty 1 cent will only grow. Some experts predict that in 2030, a near-perfect double-deer proof could breach the $500,000 mark. Meanwhile, digital marketplaces are expanding the collector base globally, bringing fresh eyes and new bids to these tiny treasures. Conclusion: call to action. So next time you empty your change jar, remember, greatness often comes in small packages. That humble 1998 Liberty 1 cent could hide a spectacular error orb and a life-changing payday. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to join our hunt for numismatic gold. Drop a comment below. Have you ever discovered an error coin in circulation? Until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your collection shining.